do a quick introduction on how to set up Vara HF with QT Term TCP. And what this enables you to do is connect to a remote BPQ node or switch that also has a Vara HF port. And the advantage of this over WinLink is that you're not relying on busy ports necessarily, and you can also forward bulletins and NTS traffic in the time of an emergency. My concern is that with an emergency, that a lot of people that know how to use WinLink 2000 or WinLink Express will be logging in and tying those terminals up. So this is a way that this is very scalable. This is something that can be deployed on the fly because it's fairly easy to set up. I'm just going to go through the terminal side, and then later I'm going to discuss setting up a BPQ node, the BPQ side. That's going to be a little bit more involved. So this, I've already have these applications installed. So I'm going to just go ahead and reinstall. Okay, so I've so let's walk through going ahead and acquiring the software. So we'll start at very basics. So Vara HF download. Okay, click on this. And this is what you want. Vara HF high performance modem. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to download it. Let's see here. Downloads. And here it is, Vara HF. What you want to do is extract this. So extract all. And it's going to put it into a folder. This says run it as an administrator. So you right click on and click on run as administrator. And then say yes. Next. I accept the agreement. Yes. Next. Create a desktop icon. Pretty useful program. Okay. So there it is. And you'll need some kind of sound card interface with your radio. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to assume that you know how to do that. But you'll want to come in here. I would say click on allow 500 hertz connections. Put your call sign, and if you paid for it, put your registration key. It's faster if you register it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I won't actually need to open this with the other software. Okay, I got that message. I'm running Windows 7 here just to do the demonstration. Okay, that's good. And I got that message before when I was trying it out. So the other program that you need is it's QT and then with another T, Term TCP, and then I put download. The first one, this cantab.net, is the official. Okay, and just read this carefully, see what kind of binary you need. I'm running a 32-bit Windows operating system. I heard there was some issues with the 64-bit version. You could try it out, maybe to fix that. And this says you can run a 32-bit version on a 64-bit system. So I'm grabbing that. I've already grabbed it earlier. So let that download. And if you're running an old system like Windows 7 or something like that, you're going to need this little file here, the release vc redist underscore x86.exe, and that provides runtimes for Qt. The Qt is a programming environment that they've made this program in. So if you get an error message as saying that right here that you're missing this library, this is the file that fixes that. All right, so there's nothing actually to install. It's just simply unpacking the files. And where is it? Right here. Let's go ahead and unzip this. Extract all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my desktop. Let's see, Chris. Desktop. Okay. All right. And I actually want to create a new folder here. Well, no, actually that's going to be okay because it puts it inside a little folder called release. Make sure, I think that should be okay. Desktop. All right, extract. And there it goes. All the stuff you need. Now, there's the release folder. You can name it whatever you want. So I'm going to click on it. And double click on it. I uncheck this. This will bug you every time. Press run. All right. So then setup, you're going to go under Vara setup. Now almost everything here, and you need to click on this to enable it. You can pick whatever bandwidth you want to use. The fastest, this is not the speed necessarily, but the fastest speed is possible with this, but it's also taking up this much bandwidth, which you might not necessarily want to do. This might be put something, there might be something else here like Vara TNC or something like that. You just want Vara.exe. The ports matched what was already on that. PTT, if you got a PTT set up, it looks like you got some options here. You can use FLRig, hamlib to do PTT on your radio. I just use Vox and have no problems. If you use Vox, set your Vox delay and the release time to minimum. Call sign. Put my call sign here. And then click OK. Now it's not... there it is. It launched it. So you'll go here and hit sound card. Just make sure the sound card is like your actual little device is selected for that. And so let's go ahead and now, since I'm running in a virtual computer here, I'm not going to actually connect through this, but it works just fine. I tested it earlier, and it was good to go. Basically, call to the other station that you want to connect to. Make sure you have the right SSID if you're connecting to a bulletin board. A lot of times they're -1 or whatever it is. And any SSID, if you wanted to get the RMS and they're running RMS on that BPQ switch, then you would add the 10 here, and then that works too. You don't need the digi information because I don't think Vara does digi. And then like that. And hopefully you can hear that. It's attempting to connect. And now I'm going to show how to post a couple of things. Let's go ahead and hit disconnect. So that would have been it. So that's how to do it. Now let's show you what you can do with this setup. Now I have BPQ. I can launch BPQ locally, and I've already messed around with this and set this up. So I'm going to launch BPQ. This is the switch software, and I also gonna. And there's my Vara HF listening port. And I can also it can also call out and send messages like automatically on a schedule. It can push out all the bulletins and personal. Um, let's see. I also need the AGW, this guy right here, to be running, and I also need my BBS running, and that all runs together. So that should be set up. Now I was having there's no problem with this QT Term TCP using Vara, but the trying to loop back and connect to this here on I was having a little issues. So I'm going to use a different program, but it's pretty much identical, called Term. And double click this. So settings, and this is almost identical. You got to make sure this is this would be, like I said, it matches whatever software. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to connect. And I'm going to connect with, let's see what I have my port configured. I think, let's go ahead. I think I know what it is. Actually saved it here. There I am. I'm already connected. Just that fast. So it's going to ask you to like log in, put your zip code. So QTH, I think I've already entered these. Oh, nope. QTH is Grand Terrace, California. Zip is, this is important for white pages, just to know, so people know where to send your mail, your AX25 mail. So that's taken care of. Now let's, since this is in the context of sending NTS traffic, let's do NTS traffic. So it would be send T for send traffic. You put the zip code of the recipient at, in whatever state, it would be NTS California. And let's see, I think it's QTC. Let's just call it 909.1. And then the message, I would just use FL message and cut and paste the text message in here. So I'm just going to say, I don't want to get into all that. Well, let's do it. Okay, so actually no, I'm gonna, because that's in the other system here. Let's just do test. Keep it simple. Keep this video short. I think if you know how to send traffic, that's like a whole nother video. So, and then you would send it with a /EX or Control-Z, just like it says right here. And then LT will list all the traffic. Once the traffic's picked up, it should be killed, and that would be kill to. And that's pretty much it. Now to send personal, if you knew somebody, let's see, send personal W6TJ at W6TJ dot, and this is an old AX25 mail address style. Test, and then EX to end it, and there it goes. It's and this is here, just sitting here in the bulletin board, ready to get pushed out on a schedule to another site. Another thing you can do is send bulletin. Let's say Vara at worldwide test. And that, again, that's a whole nother thing of like how bulletin addressing works. And now I could do list LB for list bulletins, and there's my bulletin, or I can list all So there's a bulletin, there's a personal message, and there's traffic. So that's how it all works. And like I said, Vara, I could set Vara up to connect outgoing to another instance of BPQ and push those messages across at a convenient time. So that's it. So I'm going to disconnect and sign off. Hopefully, you guys find this useful. And I'll chat with you later.